Today we are going to look at making inferences. Here are our objectives for today's lesson. At the end of this lesson, students will be able to do the following with an accuracy of 60% or more. 1, explain what an inference is, and 2, make inferences using your personal experiences from text, photos, scenarios, or films. So what is an inference? An inference is a conclusion or opinion that is formed by facts. Now, facts, students, is something that can be proven, and an opinion is something that is based on your personal belief and it cannot be proven. If you need additional information on facts and opinions, you can refer to the mini lesson that is posted on facts and opinions. Okay? So when you are making an inference, it's very important that you, 1, trust the passage or the source that you're getting the information from. 2, it's important that you hunt for clues that will help you to determine what conclusion you should have. 3, use those clues to make a few assumptions. And 4, narrow down the choices for one final observation. So let's look at example 1. As the teacher brought the class back from the washroom, he noticed that Alvin and Elijah were nowhere to be seen. He asked the class, has anyone seen Alvin and Elijah? Most of the students confirmed that they had not seen them, except for Rodney, who remained silent while tapping his foot on the floor anxiously. The teacher noticed this. Rodney, do you happen to know where your best buddies Alvin and Elijah went? Rodney looked away and said, nah, I haven't seen them. The teacher notified the office of the missing students. An announcement was made over the PA system, and a few minutes later, Alvin and Elijah returned to class. Both of them were very sweaty, and Elijah was carrying a basketball. Sorry we took so long. We had to use the bathroom, said Elijah. Yeah, chimed in Alvin. It took longer than we thought. Now, based on this scenario, what do we think Alvin and Elijah were doing? If you said that they were playing basketball as one of the assumptions, then you are correct. How did you arrive to that assumption, or how did you arrive to that conclusion? So let's look at some of the hints that help us to make a certain determination. It says 1, they were carrying a basketball. 2, they were very sweaty. 3, so that there lets us know that they weren't using the restroom like they said they were doing. It indicates to us that they were doing something else, so not playing with the basketball. Now, it doesn't give us any information as to where they were in terms of if they were on the court or if they were just in the yard using the basketball, but we can just assume that they were playing basketball as a final determination there. Let's move now to example 2. Maya came out of the bathroom with tears in her eyes. She ran down to the cafeteria and asked the staff if they had any rice. Fortunately for Maya, Miss Lucille did. Miss Lucille filled a red plastic cup about halfway with white rice grains and handed it to Maya. Maya pulled a damp phone from out of her back pocket and pushed it into the dry rice grains inside of the plastic cup. She sincerely thanked Miss Lucille and then went back to class. She felt relieved, but she was a little worried. Now, although Maya asked for rice, we cannot, I mean, we can make an assumption that she was hungry, but it's almost impossible to eat raw rice. So that assumption here where it says white rice grains, and we would assume that she was hungry, we can automatically run a line through that assumption because it wouldn't be valid based on the information that we are given here. Now let's look at where it says she came with tears. So we know that she was distraught or sad about what had happened. The next clue, her phone was damp phone. And it says that she came out of the bathroom. Okay, so those are some clues. So what assumptions can we make? We already determined that saying that she was hungry would not be a valid assumption. Okay, so our final assumption would be that her phone, it either fell into the toilet or it got wet by the sink when she was washing her hands or whatever. So the fact that she gets the dry rice grains and puts the damp phone into the cup, she's now attempting, I don't know if any of you have experienced this before, but she's attempting now to have the rice absorb the water from her phone so it can work again. All right, so based on something that we would have experienced or witnessed someone else experiencing, now we can make an assumption and a determination of what happened to Maya. So this will be the last example we will look at for today, and it's example 3. Tony walked out of the shopping mall with his arms full of bags and the sun shining on him. As he approached his car, he started awkwardly feeling around his pockets with his arm full of bags. He did not find what he was looking for, so he transferred the bags on one arm to the other arm, which already had bags. Tony had a lot of bags on one arm. He still couldn't find what he was looking for. He dropped the bags and plunged both hands desperately into all of the pockets on his jeans. With a look of despair, Tony ran to his car. He tried to open the door, but it was locked. Then he saw something on the passenger seat of the car. He stopped looking and pulled out his phone from his pocket. So what assumption can we make about Tony based on the information that is presented to us? We can assume that Tony was locked out of his car, or he locked the keys of the car inside. All right, so how did we come to that conclusion or to that assumption? It says 1, started feeling awkwardly around his pocket. That's the first one. Then he ran to his car, tried to open the door, but it was locked, right? And then he saw the passenger seat, that something was there. So he stopped looking. So this lets us know that he was indeed looking for his car keys because he would have locked them in there. Now, this has happened to me before, but my car couldn't lock, so I was able to just open the door and get the keys. But I've left my keys in the car accidentally, of course, numerous of times in the car.